Hi, so what we thought might be quite helpful is to think about some of the things that you can put in place before you perhaps do a long period of relaxation. So I know we've both led a few courses now, haven't we, Emma? And I think from experience of listening to people and practicing it ourselves, what do you find helpful to think about maybe before you do a visualisation that means lying down or sitting in a comfortable chair? What would you suggest?
So they really, like you say, the preparation is really important in a way to get the most out of it. So really thinking about the surroundings that you're, and the timing, really important, the timing of when you're going to do it. So thinking about who's around, maybe in the house that you're in, what room that you might go to. So thinking about not gaining any interruptions at all, if possible, turning phones off. Thinking about whether you're going to do it in a chair or lying down, what's comfortable for you. So you really want to be comfortable to concentrating on the visualization rather than thinking all the way through it. Oh,
my jeans are too tight.
Yeah, I'm exactly I'm really, really aching, but I don't want to stop. So not letting other people know in the house. Please don't interrupt me if possible. Or doing it when
or even
the house
getting to join you, I think sometimes is quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, we've certainly done that in our house, and everybody benefits from it. And also not like putting pressure under myself that I'm going to get it right straight away. It definitely, I've found, I don't know about you, but that practice.
I think you're right. If you're thinking too much about whether you're doing it right or wrong, the anxiety can go up and it just negates what you're doing. And I think there's the guidelines or the suggestions that we put in place, but actually just try it, do it, and just get a sense of what it feels like. Don't worry if you're doing it right or wrong. If you're noticing you're starting to relax, you're getting it right for you, aren't you? Not getting too hooked up on the rights and wrongs.
Yeah.
I think it's about setting the scene, isn't it? Making sure you're not interrupted, loose, comfortable clothing. And I think there's something as well about putting pillows or cushions in places so that you're not holding your body anywhere can make a difference, can't it?
So just being aware, of the body parts and that you're not kind of tense anywhere, so that you really relax down into it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And I think as well, I don't know if you've noticed, if I do it for a period of time, my temperature tends to drop. So sometimes just having a blanket, you might not want to start off with it if it's warm enough, but you can just gradually pull it up if your temperature does drop. Can be quite helpful as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, because there's nothing worse than actually getting cold through it and then not gaining again the benefits of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but when I finish, it's that not getting up too quick. So then not getting that rush into your head, and being careful of the muscles if you've been lying down, the way that you kind of turn to get back up so that you're not pulling anything.
Yeah, so lying on your side and pushing up with your hand, isn't it, rather than using your core to pull up. And I think as well it's, as you say, being slow but not having anything planned afterwards, that you haven't got that temptation to rush off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you can get lightheaded and dizzy, and so it's trying to cut that space out afterwards to just enjoy what it feels like to be relaxed, isn't it?
Yeah, so having a drink of water also, just rehydrating yourself also. And one other thing I kind of thought of was try different, so there's lots and lots of different recordings out there, and one voice might not suit you, so don't be put off. Try different, maybe YouTube videos or podcasts or anything, or apps that might and find what suits you.
Definitely, I agree, because there's nothing worse if you don't like the voice. It can get you feeling, I don't like the voice, so then you're not relaxing, are you? I think it's a really good tip. And I think the main thing is to just enjoy it, isn't it? And not get too caught up on how you're doing it. Just tweak it and adapt it for you.
Yeah.
And I think as well, another thing that's really useful is to practice relaxation where you're going to stay awake with it, so that you know what it feels like for the body and the mind to be relaxed. So maybe picking a time of day where or even how you position yourself, that you're sat upright, to go with that sensation. And then if you know you want to go asleep during it, perhaps do it at bedtime, so that you're not worried if you do drift off and go to sleep. But there's something about the practicing of it, of actually staying consciously aware of what it feels like, is quite important, isn't it?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a long period of time. Sometimes it might be more helpful to do it shorter periods and do it more through the day, depending on what the situation is. But a 5 minute, I started off with the 3 minute breathing space, you know, and that makes a world of difference. And then likewise, you might find a 40-minute visualization is really great, but it's what fits in the day again, so you don't get stressed about how much time. The short or long versions are all really beneficial.
Yeah, you're right. You don't want it to be a pressure, do you? Because it negates it. And I think if you put too big an expectation on yourself, you're less likely to follow it through. Whereas if you start small and maybe build up, that's the way to do it. Yeah. We hope you found that helpful, and perhaps look at some of the other sessions that we're going to run through about the different positions that you might set yourself up in before doing relaxation.